नमस्कार. First of all, Moradu सबको Nuakhai ro Gurduti Suvecha or Nuakhai Juhar. Today I'm going to talk a bit about Nuakhai. As we all know that it is a very famous festival in Odisha because it holds many certain values in our lives, reminds us of our splendid past and teaches us to take the culture along with us. As we all know that India is the center of number of cultures and religions, thus therefore there are numerous different colorful and joyous festivals that are celebrated in India as well. So many festivals are celebrated on the winning of good over evil, while others are celebrated on the upcoming good news of the upcoming of spring and the upcoming of harvest. And festival is of course a time of like fun and happiness when all the family members they just get together to celebrate this day long, making it more colorful, and we enjoy it a lot. So basically festivals make our mundane busy routine life more enjoyable and more interesting. One such festival is Nuakhai, as I already told, which is very famous and one of the most important festival in Odisha. It is also known as Nuakhai Parva and Nuakhai Bhed Ghat. It is mainly celebrated by the people of Odisha, this all over the world, but mainly in Odisha. And the name Nuakhai actually comes from two different words like Nua and Khai. So Nua basically means new, okay, and these two are Oriya words, and Khai means food. So as the name suggests, the festival is observed to celebrate the coming of newly harvested rice of the season, and it is celebrated on the Panchami Tithi of the lunar fortnight in the month of Bhadrapada. Therefore, it usually falls on the next day of the very famous festival Ganesh Chaturthi and is celebrated with lots of enthusiasm and great fervor, of course. It is mainly celebrated by those who are related to this agricultural purpose, or who are included in the process of harvesting. Rice is a staple food of many. Like if you're talking about Odisha, you can say Western Odisha rice is something must. So in the day of its harvesting, it is of course a day or a matter of celebration and happiness. Like many other Indian festivals, this festival has also got the rituals which are performed in a very specific time during the day, and during the day this specific time is known as Lagna in Odia, and in Hindi we call it out as Muhurt. So while the festival is famous all over the world, all over the Odisha, but it is mainly celebrated in the areas, or you can say districts like Kalahandi, Sambalpur, Bargarh, and like western, who are included in the western parts of our Odisha. Historians who have looked into the past and history of the festival of Nuakhai, they suggest that this festival has got a very certain deep meaning and ancient history related. So I've also found that the origins of this festival is actually during the dates back to the Vedic era. In this period, the ancient rishis propounded the 5 necessary activities during the annual calendar of an agrarian year, and these 5 important tasks were collectively called Panchayagna, because they were having total 5 tasks, or I can say activity. The first was Sit Yagna, in which the land was tilted, and the second was like Pravapana Yajna, where in which the seeds were sown, and the third activity was called Pralambana Yajna, in which the crops were cut into initial stages, and the fourth was all called the Khala Yajna, or you can say the harvesting period, where people harvest the crops finally. And finally the fifth activity was known as Prayayana Yajna, during which the grains harvested were preserved. So history has found evidence that Nuakhai emerges as a festival to celebrate and to honor the crops, and then offer to the goddesses and gods for getting their blessing. This also suggests that the festival has a later origin than the one suggested before, because it is said that Raja Ramaideo Chauhan, Raja Ramaideo, who was the founder of the dynasty of Patna, actually wanted to improve the conditions of his kingdom, so that to make his kingdom a better one, or to make his kingdom independent and strong. So he knew that his objective to be achieved, or he has to settle, the agriculture needed to be established and promoted. This will lead to the economic prosperity and growth of the state. Therefore, Chauhan Raja popularized the festival of Nuakhai. So this festival actually increased the value of an agricultural of life in the minds of like people or citizens of his kingdom, and thus increased its popularity, finally achieving the goal. Thus Chauhan Raja wittingly used festivals and celebration to increase prosperity and develop his kingdom. Soon the festival of Nuakhai itself became a culture or a symbol of the culture, way of life and heritage of the religion of Sambalpur. And during the initial years, Nuakhai was celebrated on the day fixed by the village headman, like the head of the panchayat, you can say, and the priest according to astrology and the harvest. Later, the administration decided to make this festival well known and therefore celebrated on a larger scale. Like, okay, and the festival, which previously only existed in oral traditions, and now given full royal support from the entire western Odisha by the citizens. And the date and time of performing the rituals were decided astrologically as the previous by the temple priest, who looked at the position of the stars and decides on the holy and auspicious hour to perform the ritual. And on this day we just offer newly harvested crops first to the god and gods and goddesses and gods, and then we have it. Thus the festival became very well known in Odisha, even now with the world, mainly in western Odisha. It became very, very popular. So basically these stories and these festivals, they increase the harmony within members of the community and promotes unity, which is the basic aim of any Indian festival, for people to come out and forget all the differences, forget all the sins, and laugh and celebrate all together, enjoying together. On the day of festival, people wear their finest traditional clothes with beautiful attires, jewelries, accessories along with it. And after all the rituals are over, it is time to enjoy and relax. So people just gather around to see and perform folk dances and sing folk songs, celebrate this day like all traditionally, and they forget all the problems and just enjoy. So this provides a relief from our busy life, from the everyday mundane life, and it fills their lives with color and fun. So during this gathering of Nuakhai Bhetkat, one gets to witness the traditional folk dance of Odisha, such as Rosor Keli or Dal Khai or Ranga Batti, etc. And with time, the people of Western Odisha have migrated to many other regions of India due to many certain reasons, due to certain full factors. And but it doesn't matter wherever they are, wherever they reside, the residents of Sambalpur, basically the natives of Sambalpur, wherever they reside, they celebrate this day with lots of enthusiasm, or returning back to their native places, celebrate this day. Nuakhai is celebrated like everywhere. Therefore the festival now is not confined the boundaries of Odisha. It is celebrated all over the country with much fervor and enthusiasm. The main aim of Nuakhai festival is actually to celebrate the coming of new crops and get blessings from the goddesses and gods, so that there is abundance and prosperity. Such is the beauty and simplicity of this festival. It celebrates the mother nature herself and culture of our beautiful country, India. And Nuakhai shows the diversity and the beauty of our country. So once again, moraru sabku Nuakhai ro gurduti shubhecha o dhanyabad. Nuakhai Juhar. Stay home, stay safe, take care.